how many days. But if you're like me, you bury your head in the sand a little bit until the last moment. Thank you, Minna. Minna's nodding. And then you kind of wake up and go, oh goodness, oh dear, Pesach is coming. So in fact, friends, Pesach is coming on Saturday night, on Motzei Shabbat this week. And so I want to lead our practice in the direction of the holiday of Pesach. We'll talk about that in a moment. If you're just hopping on, I'm Cantor Lizzie Shammash. Welcome to IJS Online Yoga. You're in the right place. And our props for today, it's good to have a blanket. And we're going to be doing a little bit of sun salute work and standing poses within that. And if you'd like blocks or if you'd like a chair, please go ahead. If you don't like to go between planes, you can really use the chair and do the whole thing from a more standing position, so you don't have to go down to the floor and back up. A couple of announcements from the Institute and from me as we get our stuff together, and then we shall get started. And today we are going to start on quadruped. That's a fancy name for hands and knees, all fours. And if you don't like that, then you can do these things seated in the chair and standing and be a little creative with that. So just a couple of announcements as you get your things, and we'll get started. The LGBTQ plus monthly mindfulness sit happens this week, and that's with Aviva Chernick and guest host Joy Layden, who's just fabulous. So you can sign up for that. That's this Wednesday at noon. As I've mentioned before, we have a wonderful class through the 7 weeks of the Omer. Various faculty members are teaching, and we will journey through the Omer both in that class and also here too. So you can look to that class to companion what we're doing in the embodied practice if you'd like. Drawing on the 7 sacred qualities from the Kabbalistic Sfirot, from the tree. And that begins April 16th. Informational session on April 9th, that's Wednesday, so there's that link, and it'll be here for you after class as well, if you'd like. And lastly, we have a wonderful IJS friend and scholar teacher, that's Melila Helmer-Eshed, and she's totally amazing. She's going to be teaching a 6-week intensive through the Zohar. She's a Zohar specialist. This is an advanced course. It's for students with significant background, including rabbis, cantors, Jewish educators, religious studies students, etc. That will start April 21st. And lastly, I will be leading a retreat at Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health here in the Berkshires, here being where I am located in this moment, in Western Massachusetts from April 24 to 27 with my teacher and mentor, teacher to many of us, Rabbi Sheila Peltz-Weinberg. We will be working also with the Omer and just deepening into Shabbat and embodied practice and writing and sharing and studying text. So it's not too late if you're looking for a retreat and you want to sign up. It's in 2 weeks plus, April 24th to 27th. Please take a look. The link is there. Okay, my friends, let us get started. So either on quadruped, on all fours, or in your chair, we're going to just start to bring up cat and cow, arching and curling. So if you're on the chair, being right on top of your sitting bones, sitting up tall. And if you're on quadruped, the knees are under the hips and the wrists are under the shoulders and the spine is long. Feel the length from tailbone to crown. And we will begin by inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the tail, widening the collarbones, gazing forward as much as your neck allows. As you exhale, curl. That felt so good. Make any sounds you like through our practice. It's so nice. Inhaling and arching. Take this in your own time. Inhale as you curl, tailbone and crown drop, middle back really domes, rounds. Starting to coordinate breath and movement. vertebra by vertebra, lengthening, opening, arching, and curling. If there's anywhere you want to just pause and feel, go ahead and do that. And otherwise, just syncing up breath and movement and really diving the attention into sensation and movement. And then come back to neutral, pause. If you're in the chair, you're just going to take circles with the torso. Or you can stand up and do hip circles. If you're here with me, we're just starting to make circles by taking the hips around and to the back. And just following whatever the body will give for the outer limits here to the sides. You'll sort of see what you want to do, going around, back toward the heels, other direction, a little bit forward. And then you can switch directions. And again, take your time, deepen in the breath a little, just getting out any of the schmutz that accumulates, in the hips. When we sit in a chair or when we drive, we don't have enough movement. We really can get stuck, and when we get stuck in the pelvis, that just leads everywhere, down the legs and up the spine, and then come back to neutral. Then we're going to take another direction, which is dropping the rib cage and making circles here on this horizontal plane. Right? So it's sort of a cat and cow. You have an arching and curling effect to it, and also a circular effect simultaneously. So curling as you come up to the top, and then coming around, arching as you lower. And then take it in the opposite direction. You can also take this seated, right? Just in a different plane. Letting the elbows bend as you need to accommodate. And then come back to neutral. And either sit down on your heels or fold forward to a child pose. Or you can take a puppy pose with the hips in the air, extend the arms. You decide. Just pausing a moment to take weight off the wrists. And then come on up once again. And if you're in the chair, you're going to stand. It's a balance and it's a core engagement exercise. So what we're doing here, it's called bird dog. We're going to inhale and take that right leg back. See that the hip doesn't come up. We're parallel. We're even here. You could balance a nice porcelain cup, teacup on your sacrum. And then send the left arm forward, palm facing in. Heel is extending back, toes down. Lift the navel to the spine. Support. Build a little heat here. Wonderful for our balance. And then release down. And we'll switch. Inhale, take the right leg back. Just find that you're stable here across the pelvis, across the torso. And then right arm coming forward, palm facing in, fingertips extended. Good. Feel some heat build as you corset the ribs, lower down. Take each side a couple more times. Inhaling, extending, and exhaling, lower. Inhale, extend, opposite, leg to arm. Exhale, come back. See that the neck stays in line with the rest, neck and head stay in line with the rest of the spine. Few times here. Inhaling, extending, exhaling, coming back. Good, and then pause. You can take anything you like as a counter stretch to that. Maybe you feel a little bit of heat built up through your center, through your abdomen. I want to share some words, and then we'll continue with our practice. But feel free to stay in movement if you prefer, a little bit of stretching and moving and breathing. So I want to talk about the names, the 4 names of Pesach, and also of Passover, and also the practice of Bidikat Chametz, checking for Chametz. Yeah, we have the ritual of clearing our house of all the leavened stuff on the day before Pesach. We have to make sure the house is completely free of chametz, of leavened material, and ready for Pesach. And we go around traditionally with a feather and a candle, and we sweep it up, and then we burn it, bi'ur chametz. Right? So we make a clearing, and then we're ready for this holiday to begin. We sell the chametz that's within our home, and the night before Pesach, we enact this ritual. And so spiritually, too, we want to come into spring. One of the names for Passover is Chag HaAviv, the holiday of spring. We want to celebrate renewal. We want to celebrate new growth. If you've been doing any spring cleaning in your garden, you've been raking leaves and clearing away debris and getting off the dead stuff, and also even pruning back. I was trying to learn how to best prune back my rose bush. You can really take the roses back by a lot, by the way. So then when we prune, we take something back so it can grow better and it can grow stronger. So we want to clear away the emotional chametz, the spiritual chametz, whatever's stale, whatever's overused, whatever is too puffed up. Maybe any arrogance or just overshooting on our part. We might need to clear away old habit patterns to make room for more useful ones, more wholesome ones. Chametz is the baggage, can be the baggage that we carry from any disappointments, any broken promises, anything that's weighing heavily, that's just, it's old, it's done, but it's kind of still with us. We're holding on to it. So we want to be able to release it, and we really can do that. We can really burn it up on the mat. And there's actually a word from that in yoga philosophy. It's called tapas, which is not a bunch of little small plates in our meal, but tapas is burning away, purifying really, through the heat that we build on the mat. Any of the refuse of daily living, right? We can let go, poor decisions, any mistakes, and we use the light of awareness, the light of da'at, to burn this chametz away. We recite a blessing, kol chamira, all the leaven which is in my possession, which I've neither seen nor removed, and about which I'm unaware, shall be considered nullified and ownerless as the dust of the earth. Kind of similar to the Kol Nidre prayer, isn't it, from Yom Kippur? Like anything, even what I don't know about, let it be away and not be mine anymore. May we be granted the wisdom this Pesach to discern between what we need to hold on to and also what's stuck and we need to let go of. So in our practice today, I want to do some things for kind of the idea of biur chametz, of burning off what we don't need. I want to do some things that heat us up, some twisting, some breath work, and also really thinking about what we hold in the hips most especially, but anywhere in our body. That's chametz, that we can let go of. So lastly, before we keep moving, just to remember the 4 names for this holiday: Chag HaPesach, a time of offering; Chag HaMatzot, a time of the holiday of matzah, paring down to the essential, right? Reducing any puffiness in our lives. Chag HaAviv, as I said, welcoming spring, welcoming new blossoms. And lastly, of course, very important, Zman Cherutenu, the time of our freedom. So through all this, and through our practice, and through our movement, we build freedom. So let's start with a breath exercise, a pranayama called Kapalabhati. It's forced exhalation. So if you just take your hand actually below the navel, the lower belly. And take one hand just right under your nose so we can feel what we're doing. The mouth is closed and the exhale is through the nose. It's a forced exhalation, and then the inhale it rebounds. We don't have to do anything for the inhalation. That's a different breath. This is just exhale and then let the inhale come in. So just take it slowly a few times, and what you want to feel is that as I exhale, I can feel the air under my nose on the exhale, and I feel as I exhale that the lower belly is going in, or in and up, but in, it's kicking in, and then the rebound is that the belly comes back into my hand on its own. I don't need to fill it, I don't need to move it, it just happens. So that inhale that you're hearing from me, perhaps on this recording, is I'm not doing anything. It is coming in on its own. And then we can start to speed it up. So we're going to do 3 sets of 15, okay? So if you get off from me or if your timing is different, you don't have to be together with me. You can count it on your own. So first we're going to inhale fully and exhale fully. And then inhale halfway and begin. 13, 14, 15. Complete. Let the inhale come in. Inhale and hold at the top. If you're familiar with the root lock and the chin lock, you can lock. And then exhale. Let the breath return to normal. Second round. Inhale fully. Exhale fully. Inhale partway and begin. Count 15. Full exhale. Inhale fully. Hold. You can apply the locks if you know them, if you like that. And release and exhale. If this makes you dizzy at all, either just completely stop, but also make sure to keep your eyes open, and it's nice to have a focal point, okay? So if you really get dizzy, stop. Just return the breath to normal. Last round. So hopefully you feel sort of some heat building in this furnace here. Inhale fully. Exhale fully. Inhale partway and begin 15. Completely exhale. Inhale completely. Hold. And exhale. Let the breath come back to normal. And by the way, if you felt in those forced exhalations that you're exhaling more through one nostril than the other, if your sinus passages, nasal passageways are open, this is normal. The fun fact, the breath changes in terms of which nostril is favored through various times of the day. So at any point, we're really using one nostril more than the other, actually. So don't think that anything is off with you on that. That is exactly what happens. Let's come to a low lunge, taking the right foot forward, left knee back. Feel free to pad up with your blanket. Feel free to come onto blocks if you'd like. And just begin with a little bit of shifting back and forth with the hips. And then you can begin. We're going to kind of work into a twist by taking the right arm forward and up and around back. And just by the way, I'm working with a shoulder issue. It's not really causing me pain, but I'm just really babying it. So I'm not extending my arm, but you can extend your arm. Reaching fingertips forward and up toward the ceiling and back behind you, so that there's a little bit of twisting to the torso here as we go. Good, and then come on up to take your hands to your thighs. Draw your low belly in and your navel in. Lengthen through your tailbone. We're going to take a little twist here. So coming up to square, starting from here. Inhale the left arm up, lengthen. And then as you exhale, come into a twist. You can take elbow to the outside of the knee. You can take hand down to a block or to the floor. You could take prayer. And find a twist. So we're really trying to move the abdomen here. A little bit of a wringing out. And then from here you can shift the hips forward as much as you wish or not. But we're really interested in this movement of the abdomen and length of the spine throughout. So a lot of length from tailbone to crown. And we're in early days, perhaps in the morning in practice, so take it easy there. And then release. Shift the hips back. You can flex through the front foot, lengthening through the leg. Again, you can be up on blocks if you'd like. Hamstring stretch. Good. And then we're going to switch. Switch sides. Left foot forward. And same sequencing here. Begin by just shifting hips forward and back. Little bit for the quadriceps, the hip flexors, long spine. Good, and then you can begin to inhale, bringing the left arm forward and up, and you can follow it with your gaze, and then exhale as you come back and around. Right, so if you keep the gaze on the fingertips, if your arm is indeed extended, kind of works, helps begin to open up the twisting action. And then come on up. Another option, if you don't want to do elbow to knee, or if that's not available to you, I'll show you on this side. We can just come to here. So you do you, but we're inhaling the right arm up, the right arm up, and then we're exhaling and twisting, right? So maybe the hand just comes to the outside of the knee, maybe it's elbow, arm can come back, or prayer. Let's see what you want here. To work this twisting action. Again, lots of length. We want to really protect the spine, protect the vertebrae. So it's not a curling as we do it. We want to make sure we find length as we twist. And then come on back. Sit the hips back, lengthen the hips back, extending long through the left leg. You can, the more you flex through those left toes, the more you're going to feel it in the hammies, the calf, Achilles. Just loosening up any chametz. And I don't know about you, I really feel it between winter and spring. It's like a lot of loosening that the whole body has to do, wants to do, hopefully. Tuck those, come forward, tuck the back toes, step it forward. Find a ragdoll position. Nice bent knees. You can even lay the whole torso down on the thighs. You can hold opposite elbows if you like. You can shift a little bit, side to side swing. Let the crown hang heavy. If it's contraindicated for you to have head below the heart, come to this, what I call skier position. And when you're ready, begin to roll up. So inhaling, really filling the pelvic bowl. And as you exhale, navel to spine, press into the feet as you roll up, vertebra by vertebra.
coming to stand.
Okay, we're going to take a sun salute, coming to the front of your mat, and you can take this in any way you would like. I'm just making some offerings. You can always change it up. So inhale, take the arms out and up. And exhale, dive it forward over the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine, press into the shins, flat back. Exhale, fold, step the right foot back, low lunge, knee to the floor. Inhale, the arms come up. And exhale, step it back. And lower down. Inhale, small cobra, drawing the collarbones wide and the shoulders back. Squeeze those shoulder blades toward each other. Really shine the heart forward. And exhale, press it back. It could be child pose or puppy or downward facing dog. Pause here. Inhale up to all fours or coming forward, and exhale, step the right foot forward, the knee down, left knee down. Inhale, the arms up overhead, and exhale, let the hands frame the right foot, step the left foot forward, fold it over. Good. Inhale, coming on up, flat back or rolling it up, arms up. And exhale, come back to the heart. Pause here and breathe. Starting to just let go, release. What is it that you need to let go of? What's done? What's over? What's overly puffed up, overly leavened inside? Good. We'll take one more. A little bit different this time. Inhale the arms up and exhale, dive it over the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine, flat back. And exhale, fold, step the right foot back, knee up this time. Good. Inhale, build it up to a high lunge. And exhale, open it out, warrior two. Turn the left palm up. Inhale, lift up, reverse warrior. And exhale, cartwheel the arms around. Frame the left foot. Step it back and lower down. Inhale, small cobra or upward facing dog. Widen the space of the heart. And exhale, child pose, puppy, or downward facing dog. Breathe here. Good. If you're in downward dog, inhale, lift the right foot back and up. Let's all exhale, step the right foot forward, left knee up. Inhale, build it, lift it up to a high lunge. And exhale, open it out, warrior two. Inhale, turn the right palm up, lift up, reverse warrior. And exhale, cartwheel, open the ribs, frame the right foot, step it forward, folding over. Inhale, roll it up or flat back. Looking up. And exhale, bring it back to the heart. Pause here. Take a hand to the low belly and a hand to the heart. And notice how you feel. Anything dislodging, anything heating up. Just notice any sensation. Give it a lot of space. Just notice how you're doing in this moment. And again, remember, Zman Cherutenu. We're looking for freedom. Freedom from our constriction. Leaving Mitzrayim, leaving Egypt. Not binding ourselves in more with our practice. So let's let our practice be spacious. Be a judgment-free zone. Where can you soften? And when you're ready, open the eyes. You can release the hands, if the eyes were closed, that is. And come to a seated place.
Bring your blanket. You might want some lift, maybe not, but you might.
We're going to take a seated cross-leg forward fold. So you may want to lift up the hips a little bit just to have some elevation so that you can really, on the pelvis, be right on top of the sitting bones. Not rocked back and not rocked forward. Just find that middle place. And whichever shin is in front, no problem. So again, as to the bidikat chametz issue, we really can hold a lot in the pelvis, in the hips, and a lot of emotional stuff gets really stuck in there. So it's nice to kind of address the well-being of everything regarding how the legs come into the pelvis and low back, belly, etc. So whichever shin is in front, just sitting up tall, you can even take hands to the sides and press fingertips to the floor. Widen the collarbones. Really place the shoulder blades right onto the back, right? So that the shoulder blades are kind of saying, hey, rib cage, I've got you. I'm protecting you. Wide collarbones. Bottom tips of the shoulder blades dropping down, more space between the neck and the outer shoulders. Notice that if that affects your jaw, your tongue, your throat. Good. And then from here we're going to fold forward. So inhaling long spine and exhale and fold forward however much you would like. Walking fingers forward. Once you've lengthened your spine as much as you'd like, you can fold if you wish, round a little bit. Play with this. See if you prefer a rounded spine or a lengthened spine. And that changes from day to day too. Stay with it. Slow, steady, smooth. Inhale. Slow, steady, smooth. Exhale. When you're ready, come on up and switch sides. Bringing the other shin in front. And same thing, take a moment to ground those fingertips. I often think of this kind of like, those wine openers with the arms and the center. And so as you press the fingertips down, as you move the arms down, it's like the spine and the crown lift. Right, that opposition of the down of the fingertips and the up of the spine all the way to the crown. Again, take the bottom tips of the shoulder blades down the back and feel that the collarbones can widen. draw the upper arm bones back. See if that doesn't bring any chirut, any freedom to the side ribs. Good. Inhale, tall spine, and then exhale. We'll fold forward once again. This is probably your weird side, your non-habitual side. Just notice what's there. Folding forward, either with length or with length and then rounding. When you're ready, come on up. Yogi's choice. I'm going to take legs wide. You can do that if you'd like, both legs wide, right? If you prefer, you could just take one side and do one side and then the other side. Right? If you want to keep a little bend on the knees, you could put a little something under the knees. And if you don't want to do wide legs, if you prefer legs together, you can fold with straight legs. So you decide. Take the hands behind you, and once again, press down onto the fingertips, but draw the elbows toward each other. So once again, we're widening collarbones, really making space for the lift of the sternum. Squeezing shoulder blades toward each other and also taking shoulder blades down the back. Feel that lift, and then from here, you can fold forward. And you can take it, if you'd like, breath by breath, inhaling and lengthening, exhaling, folding. As you're ready, come on up. Shake it out. Bring the legs toward each other. Take one more thing before we move into stillness. Again, in the service of biur chametz and heating up internally to burn off what we don't need, we're going to take boat pose. So the main thing is the spine is tall, right? It's not rounded. You could sit up on your blanket if you'd like, if that helps you to not round in the low back. But the main thing is length here. Really find those sitting bones rooted and lengthen out from the crown. You could practice just coming a little bit back and forth with the torso and just feel that moment of engagement and hold a little, right? So you could keep the feet down. If you'd like, bring the feet up. You could practice also like so. I'm just giving you lots of options here, right? So it could be hands behind the thighs. You might want to lengthen the legs. You might want to extend the arms, make a nice V into that boat pose. You might want to lower and lift a few times, torso and legs. I'm not feeling that myself today, but if you really want a nice Gevurah practice for the core, go for it. Holding, breathing. If you like, you can even bring up that Kapalabhati breath, the forced exhalations right here. That brings some real heat. Oh, and when you're ready, release. Woo! And then we're going to curl to lower down. So really drawing the navel to the spine. Exhale and round down. The round isn't much of a round, but just feeling like we're laying down one vertebra at a time. And then you can come to stillness in any way you like. It might be traditional Shavasana, legs long, arms long by the sides. You might want something more like a constructive rest, knees bent, soles of the feet to the floor. You might want to take the blanket under your head or under your knees. Couple minutes of stillness here. Letting go of any attention to the work, the efforting. Letting go even of attention to the breath. You don't have to think about the breath. Just allowing the nervous system to absorb and integrate the body learning. And then if you're going to be transitioning back into your day, you can start to deepen the breath. If you have a little more time for Shavasana, please feel free to take that. If you're coming back to your day, take all the time you need, starting to lengthen the breath, wiggle the fingers and the toes, and take your time, make your way up to a seated position. Tall spine. So a kavanah for this week, in addition to getting our homes ready, our tables ready, cleaning, cooking, all the possibilities and needs of this holiday. An intention for clearing out what is stale, clearing out what has been used and done with, clearing out any sourness in our hearts, our feelings, our lives. Saying goodbye to habit patterns we can really just leave behind as we move into freedom, into spring, to making this Pesach offering. And as we close, bringing to mind and heart anyone who needs healing. You can bring up their Hebrew name, their English name. It might even be your own very self who needs healing. Wishing healing for those close to you, those in your communities, and sending that out to the broader world. We never keep the benefits just close to ourselves. We really want to send the benefits of practice out We bring to mind those who are suffering all over the world. And in Gaza, we still have 59 hostages, 24 believed to be still alive, and we keep them in our minds and our hearts, and we, as we say in our liturgy Monday and Thursday mornings, we really pray for anyone captive to be released. So feel free to join me for Achenu Kol Beit Yisrael, or just listen. Achenu Kol Beit Yisrael, Achyoteinu Kol Beit Yisrael, Hanetunim B'tzara, B'tzara Uvashivya, Haomdim ben bayam uven bayabasha. Hamakom yerachem, yerachem aleim, veyotziem mitzara, lirevacha, Mafel leora, yishibud ligeula, hashta bagala, uvizman kariv. Hashta bagala, uvizman kariv, venomar amen. May our sisters and brothers come home from captivity. Unbelievable, we're coming on the second Pesach of being without them. For those suffering in all the parts of the Middle East and throughout the world, we send our prayers. Thank you all for practicing today. Thank you for your efforts on your own behalf and really on behalf of Tikkun Olam. It's important. We have time for questions. You can use the hand-raising function or put them into the chat. And just again, a reminder, LGBTQ plus sit this Wednesday. The Omer class is coming. Class with why can't I say Malila's name? Malila Hellner Eshed. And check out my Kripalu retreat at the end of the month.